the question of why divine masculines push away their divine feminines is perhaps one of the most heart-wrenching mysteries of the twin flame journey. Yet beneath this seemingly cruel paradox lies a beautiful orchestration of soul growth and spiritual evolution. When divine love meets ego, something has to give. The intensity of twin flame love acts like a spotlight, illuminating every shadow, every fear, and every wound that the divine masculine has carefully hidden away. What we're about to explore isn't just about relationship dynamics. It's about the profound transformation that occurs when unconditional love challenges everything we thought we knew about ourselves. Through understanding these ego patterns, both divine masculines and feminines can find compassion for their journey and wisdom in their struggles. In this reading, let's dive deep into the 5 core ego patterns that emerge when divine masculines face the mirror of twin flame love. Whether you're a divine masculine grappling with these challenges, a divine feminine seeking to understand your counterpart's journey, or simply a soul curious about the mysteries of twin flame dynamics, this exploration will illuminate the path toward greater understanding and healing. Are you ready to understand the deeper truth behind this sacred dance of love and fear? Let's begin. Imagine you've spent years building a fortress around your heart, brick by brick, carefully constructing walls that have kept you safe from emotional harm. Then suddenly, your twin flame appears, and it's like they have the master key to every door you've ever locked. As one divine masculine confided, it feels like being naked in a crowd, not just physically, but soul naked. How do you handle that kind of exposure? This vulnerability strikes at the core of traditional masculine conditioning. Society has programmed men with messages like, real men don't cry, and stay strong, show no weakness. Yet, the twin flame connection demands complete emotional transparency. It's like being asked to unlearn everything you thought made you strong. The ego, playing its role as the ultimate bodyguard, kicks into high gear. It's like having an overprotective friend who sees any potential for deep connection as a threat. What if she sees all of me and runs? What if I lose myself in this love? What if I can't maintain control? These thoughts become a constant drumbeat in the divine masculine's mind. Think of it as a beautiful butterfly emerging from its cocoon. The process is necessary, but feels like death to the caterpillar. The divine masculine faces a similar transformation, the death of the protected, isolated self to birth a vulnerable, connected being. As spiritual teacher Ram Dass once said, the heart is like a garden. It can grow compassion or fear, resentment or love. What seeds will you plant there? The irony is that this fear of vulnerability often leads to self-fulfilling prophecy. By pushing away their divine feminine to avoid feeling vulnerable, they create the very pain they were trying to prevent. It's like refusing to drink water because you're afraid of drowning, only to suffer from dehydration. Remember, this fear isn't weakness, it's a natural part of the awakening process. Every time the divine masculine feels this fear arise, it's actually an invitation to grow, to expand, to transform. The key lies not in eliminating the fear, but in learning to dance with it, to acknowledge it while choosing love anyway. Dear Divine Masculines, your vulnerability is not your weakness. It's your superpower. It's the doorway to the deepest love you'll ever experience. And yes, it's terrifying. But as Brené Brown wisely notes, vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Your twin flame sees your fear. They understand it, and they love you not despite your vulnerability, but because of your courage to feel it all. Let's dive into one of the most heart-wrenching paradoxes in twin flame relationships: the "I'm not good enough" syndrome. It's like finding a priceless diamond and convincing yourself you don't deserve to keep it. That's exactly what happens when the Divine Masculine grapples with feelings of unworthiness in the presence of their Divine Feminine's love. Think about this. Have you ever been given a gift so magnificent that your first instinct was to return it? Guillaume. That's the Divine Masculine's predicament. The love they experience with their twin flame is so pure, so unconditional, that their ego literally short-circuits trying to process it. It's like being handed the keys to heaven and feeling like you've somehow ended up there by mistake. This unworthiness complex often has deep roots in childhood experiences. Perhaps they grew up hearing, "You'll never amount to anything," or learned that love always comes with conditions. These wounds create a distorted lens through which they view all love, especially the profound connection with their twin flame. It's like trying to view a masterpiece through a cracked mirror. The beauty is there, but the reflection is fractured. The ego, in its misguided attempt to protect, creates an elaborate narrative. She's too evolved spiritually. I'll only drag her down. She deserves someone who has their life completely together. What they don't realize is that twin flames aren't meant to meet when they're perfect. They're meant to meet when they're ready to grow together. As spiritual teacher Marianne Williamson puts it, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. This unworthiness manifests in subtle yet destructive ways. They might sabotage the relationship by creating artificial problems, push their divine feminine toward other potential partners, or even convince themselves the entire connection is a delusion. It's like having a winning lottery ticket and deliberately losing it because you don't believe you deserve the prize. Here's the beautiful irony. The very feelings of unworthiness that make them push away their divine feminine are exactly what they need to heal through this connection. Their twin flame serves as a mirror, reflecting back their own divine worth and potential. Dear Divine Masculines, your feelings of unworthiness don't make you unworthy. They make you human. Your twin flame sees your light even when you're convinced you're standing in darkness. Your perceived flaws and imperfections aren't obstacles to love. They're invitations to heal and grow. Remember this truth. You weren't chosen by accident. The universe doesn't make mistakes in twin flame connections. Your divine feminine isn't with you because you're perfect. She's with you because you're perfect for each other's growth and evolution. To those feeling unworthy, start with small acts of self-acceptance. Each time you feel the urge to push away love because you don't deserve it, pause and ask yourself, what if I'm worthy simply because I exist? Let that question be the first crack in the wall of unworthiness you've built around your heart. The journey from unworthiness to self-acceptance isn't linear, but it's sacred. Every step you take toward embracing your worth brings you closer to the union your soul knows is possible. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be, learning exactly what you need to learn, becoming exactly who you need to become. Picture a master puppeteer suddenly realizing their strings are being pulled by something far greater than themselves. That's the existential crisis divine masculines face when confronted with the uncontrollable nature of twin flame love. The need for control isn't just about dominance, it's about survival of the ego's carefully constructed world. Think of control as a security blanket that the divine masculine has carried since childhood. It's kept them safe, predictable, and in charge of their emotional landscape. Then along comes this twin flame connection, acting like a cosmic tornado, threatening to tear away every false sense of security they've ever known. The control mechanisms manifest in fascinating ways. They might ghost their divine feminine, only to obsessively check their social media. They'll date others while energetically remaining tethered to their twin. It's like a dance where they're desperately trying to lead while simultaneously being led by a force they can't comprehend. As spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle notes, the mind is a superb instrument if used rightly. Used wrongly, however, it becomes very destructive. Consider this. Have you ever tried to control a dream while you're dreaming? That's exactly what the divine masculine attempts to do with this connection. The more they try to manipulate it into fitting their logical understanding, the more chaotic and unmanageable it becomes. It's a cosmic lesson in surrender, wrapped in the package of love. The irony reaches its peak when their control mechanisms actually create the very chaos they're trying to avoid. By attempting to maintain power over the connection, they inadvertently trigger intense emotional reactions in both themselves and their divine feminine. It's like trying to dam a river. The water will always find another way to flow, often creating more turbulence in the process. Here's a truth that shakes the divine masculine to their core. Control is an illusion, especially in twin flame connections. The universe operates on divine timing, not human scheduling. As Rumi beautifully expressed, when I run after what I think I want, my days are a furnace of distress and anxiety. If I sit in my own place of patience, what I need flows to me without pain. Dear divine masculines, your desire for control isn't wrong. It's the natural response to feeling overwhelmed by love's magnitude. But consider this. What if letting go of control doesn't mean losing yourself, but finding who you truly are? What if surrender isn't defeat, but the greatest victory? Remember, every time you feel the urge to control, it's actually an invitation to trust. Trust in the connection, trust in divine timing, but most importantly, trust in yourself. The universe didn't bring you this connection to break you. It brought it to break you open, to reveal the authentic power that comes from surrendering to love. Your twin flame sees through your control mechanisms to the vulnerable soul beneath. They're not asking you to be perfect. They're inviting you to be real. And in that reality, lies the true power you've been seeking all along. Imagine being an accomplished actor who's played the same character for decades, only to suddenly realize you're in an entirely different play. That's the profound identity crisis divine masculines face when their twin flame connection begins dismantling their carefully crafted sense of self. It's like watching your reflection in a mirror suddenly begin moving independently of you, terrifying yet mysteriously captivating. This identity crisis goes far deeper than typical relationship doubts. We're talking about a soul-level earthquake that shakes the very foundation of who they believe themselves to be. As one divine masculine shared, "It's like I've been living in a movie of my own making, playing a role I thought was me, until she walked in and suddenly the script disappeared. Who am I without these lines I've memorized?" Think of a caterpillar entering its chrysalis. The fascinating thing about metamorphosis is that the caterpillar doesn't just grow wings, it completely dissolves before reforming as a butterfly. Scientists call this process histolysis, the breakdown of old tissues before new ones can form. The divine masculine undergoes a similar spiritual histolysis when meeting their twin flame. As spiritual teacher Jeff Foster notes, sometimes the breaking down is actually the breaking through. The ego-constructed identity typically includes roles like the provider, the protector, the successful one, or the strong, silent type. These identities have served as armor, keeping them safe, but also isolated from their true essence. When their twin flame appears, it's like someone holding up a mirror that reflects not their carefully constructed facade, but their raw, authentic soul. This glimpse of their true self is both liberating and terrifying. Consider this. Have you ever tried to update the operating system on your computer only to have it shut down completely during the process? That moment of panic when you're not sure if it will ever boot up again. That's what divine masculines experience during this identity crisis. Their old operating system is being upgraded, but the process feels like death to the ego. I'll say for divine masculines in this phase, your identity crisis isn't a sign of weakness, it's evidence of your awakening. The confusion you feel isn't about losing yourself, it's about finding your authentic self beneath layers of societal conditioning. Remember what Joseph Campbell said, "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek." This journey through the dark night of identity is sacred. Every moment of questioning who you are brings you closer to who you're meant to be. Your twin flame isn't here to destroy you. They're here to remind you of who you've always been beneath the masks. Trust that this dismantling is divine. Your twin flame connection isn't meant to fit into your existing life. It's meant to expand your life beyond what you thought possible. Remember, this journey isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you've always been. Your twin flame sees this truth in you, even when you can't see it in yourself. The crisis will pass, but the authentic self that emerges will remain, stronger and more aligned with your soul's purpose than ever before. Picture a cosmic ballroom where energies dance in eternal harmony. This is where the most intricate choreography of twin flame relationships takes place. The delicate dance of masculine and feminine energies. Like the ancient Chinese concept of yin and yang, these energies are meant to flow in perfect complement. Yet when one partner steps out of their natural rhythm, the entire dance becomes beautifully chaotic. Think of it as a divine tango, where each partner must embrace their authentic role. When the divine feminine, in her frustration or impatience, steps into masculine energy, taking charge, pursuing, initiating, it creates a fascinating energetic displacement. It's like trying to dance a waltz, where both partners want to lead. The natural flow becomes disrupted, and the dance loses its grace. The divine masculine, finding himself pushed into feminine energy, experiences what we might call an energetic vertigo. Imagine a master swordsman suddenly being asked to perform ballet. It's not that he can't be graceful, but the role feels foreign to his natural state of being. As one divine masculine shared, when she became the warrior, I felt like I had no choice but to retreat into the cave. There was no space for my strength anymore. This energetic role reversal creates what spiritual teachers call the divine displacement. Like a river flowing uphill, it goes against the natural order of energy flow. The divine masculine becomes passive, sometimes even lethargic, losing his sense of purpose and direction. As spiritual author David Dida notes, the masculine grows by challenge, but the feminine grows by praise. Dear divine feminines, your power lies not in forcing the dance, but in embodying your divine feminine essence. As Marianne Williamson beautifully states, the feminine doesn't want to be understood. She wants to be seen. When you return to your natural state of receptivity, allowing your magnetic presence to draw rather than chase, you create the space for the masculine to step back into his power. As for the divine masculines, your seeming loss of purpose when pushed into feminine energy isn't weakness. It's your soul's way of signaling that the energy dance has lost its sacred balance. Remember what Rumi said, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. The solution lies in understanding that this dance isn't about power, it's about polarity. Like the positive and negative poles of a magnet, the attraction is strongest when each partner fully embodies their natural energy. When the divine feminine returns to her authentic state of being, nurturing, receptive, and magnetic, she creates the perfect energetic space for the divine masculine to step into his protective, providing, and purposeful nature. Remember, this dance of energies isn't about gender roles or societal expectations. It's about soul essence. Each twin flame pair must find their unique rhythm, their personal expression of these universal energies. As author Jeff Brown writes, the divine feminine and masculine within us all are dancing us toward wholeness. The key to harmonizing this dance: allow each energy to flow naturally, without force or resistance. Trust that when you embody your authentic energy signature, the universe orchestrates the perfect choreography for your twin flame journey. As we conclude, I invite you to hold this perspective. What if these ego patterns aren't obstacles to your union, but rather the very stepping stones leading you there? What if every moment of separation is actually bringing you closer to a more authentic and powerful connection? Your journey isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about transforming ego patterns into bridges of understanding, fear into courage, and resistance into surrender. As you continue on this path, remember that you're not just healing yourself, you're contributing to the collective healing of divine masculine and feminine energies on our planet. Keep dancing your sacred dance, dear ones. The universe orchestrates every step perfectly, and your love story is unfolding exactly as it should.